What's up, you guys? Zoeb here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and in this video I wanted to be sharing with you my personal updated settings for the RSI MTF EA. And if you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you're brand new to the RSI MTF EA, link is in the description to get that EA and all the associated indicators absolutely free. And I'll put a link in the top right corner and description which goes through the whole RSI MTF EA kind of playlist, from trading strategy, various different ways you can trade it, and all that kind of good stuff. But in this particular video, I just very quickly wanted to show you what you actually get in the package, which you can see on my screen now. Where to put all the templates, EAs and indicators, how to set it all up, and then walk you through the brand new settings. And then what I've also done is I've done a back test on the EURUSD year to date, January to September, showing you how the new settings have performed. So let's get into this. So what you can see now in front of you is once you've downloaded the RSI MTF EA package, you get a number of things. So you firstly get the EA itself, the RSI MTF EA version 1.1. You also get the OGT RSI MTF indicator version 1.1, and this will just help you visually when you see on the chart where the kind of overbought, oversold positions are on multiple time frames. And one thing to note is in last week's video, I launched the RSI MTF indicator version 1.2. I know a lot of you have been asking me is when is that going to be incorporated as part of the EA. I'm working on it. But at the moment, to trade this strategy, you do need version 1.1 of the MTF indicator. So please bear that in mind. The next thing you get is you get an indicator, which is basically a MACD indicator, and there is a filter inside the EA of where you can only take trades where the MACD crosses above or below the zero line. You don't have to have this indicator because with the updated settings I don't use it, but again it's just easier just to put everything together. And then the last indicator is the average price indicator, which basically shows if you've got multiple trades open, which this EA will sometimes do, it will show you where your break-even line is. Therefore, if you want to get involved from a discretionary perspective, you can know where to set take profits and targets and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll link to in the top right corner a video of me using the average price indicator to get me out of trades at break even. Again, you don't need it for this one because this is going to be a fully automated strategy which you shouldn't need to get involved in. And then the last thing is the RSI MTF EA template, so the .tpl file. So what this basically is, instead of you setting up all dragging and dropping all the indicators and EAs together, this template allows you just once all the indicators and EAs are in there, it allows you and puts everything on the chart for you. The only thing you'll need to do is update to the newer settings if you want to trade this type of approach, which I'll go on to and show you in this video. So it's a zip file. Once you've extracted it, it gives you a folder, which I'm in now. And the quickest way to install everything is to open up your MT4 terminal and click File and Open Data Folder. And then the first thing you need to do on this particular screen, and what I'll do is just get this up so you guys can see, is open the Templates folder and then pop in the .tpl file. Drag that or copy and paste it into the templates folder. Once you've done that, you go back, then you click on the MQL4 file, click on the Experts tab, and then you want to put in the OGT RSI MTF EA version 1.1 into the Experts folder. And then lastly, you got the indicators folder, which then you want to put in the average price, MACD true, and the OGT RSI MTF indicator. Drag those or copy and paste them into here. Like I said, I'm not going to do that because I've already got them installed. And then what you need to do is you need to refresh your terminal so it updates with all the latest EA and indicators. Two ways you can do that. You can either close down your platform and reopen it, or what you can do is click on the navigator right click on any indicator and just hit refresh, and therefore it will then show you all the indicators and EAs in their respective areas. Once you've done that, what you want to do is right click on any chart or currency pair you want to trade the system on, templates, and then find the OGT RSI MTF EA version 1.1. And then what it will do there, it will load up the template. So what we have here is, you can see we have the EA, and it has a sad smiley face, which means that the automation is not set up, which we'll go through. You've got the arrows, which shows the RSI MTF indicator, showing where price or the RSI is overbought or oversold on one or multiple time frames. And then you've got the MACD, like I said, and again, we've highlighted the zero line, so you can clearly see when price goes below the zero line, it will sell, and if it goes above the zero line, it will buy based on other conditions. Again, for this particular strategy, we're not using it, so you can just delete it. So let me just walk you through how to set up the automation. So what you need to do is right click Expert Advisors and go to Properties, and then go to the Common tab, and you need to make sure that Allow Live Trading is ticked. Once that's ticked and you set up your inputs, which we'll go on to in a second, is you need to make sure at the top here you click on Auto Trading, and it's got a kind of a green arrow sign. Now you can see that sad smiley face has turned into a smiley face, which then indicates that automation is on, and if the criteria of this particular currency pair is set up to the conditions of the EA, it will then execute a trade, assuming that you have money in the account or money inside the demo account. So I'm just going to turn that off for now, but we are on a weekend, so there's no risk of a trade happening. But if we right click in and go into the Expert Advisor, what we need to do over here is change the settings, because the settings were initially put in based on how I've previously traded it, which is fine as well. And you know, the kind of big thing here is I'm switching from lower time frames to a higher time frame. And one of the main reasons for that is, and you'll see in a second, is I've got a very small take profit target of 5 pips. And it's very easy to catch 5 pips on when you're trading a 1 hour plus chart than when it is when you're trading a 5 to 15 minute chart when the conditions are met. And that's what comes out in terms of the back test that I've been doing, which again I'll show you in a second. So if I'm not going to walk through what these settings mean and stuff. I'm just going to show you what the changes are, so you guys can pause the video and take those changes. So that's set to 0. Allow multiple trades is true. Again, we're not using the MACD entry, so that'd be false. Max spread, again, I like to just set this to 2 because I'm looking for a very short take profit target. That is 5 pips. And gain percentage of balance, we're going to switch that to 0.5. Basically what that means is for every trade the indicator, the EA takes, is looking to make 0.5% gain of your balance across 5 pips. So if we had a £100 or $100 account, we are looking to make 50p or 50 cents per trade across 5 pips. And then what the EA will do, now it knows it wants to make roughly around 50p or 50 cents across 5 pips, it will then create a lot size for you and place the trade to make sure that you make 50p or 50 cents across 5 pips. So that's kind of how it works. So you don't actually set a lot size in the EA, you just state on how much percent you want to gain for every trade the EA takes. So that's that bit. We're going to keep the RSI at 14 and move these back down to the usual common 70 and 30 overbought, oversold regions. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my channel, know that I like to put the time frame quantity to 1, and what that basically means is the RSI has to be overbought or oversold not only on the current time frame but the time frame higher. So if I'm trading the 1 hour chart, which is what I'll be trading with this EA going forward, it will look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour. However, it might sound counterintuitive and you might think, what's the point in having this indicator? I'm actually setting this to 0. So what that basically means is only looking for overbought, oversold opportunities on the current time frame. Now, and again, I've got no affiliation with that. It's just what's happened in terms of the back testing that I've done. It seems to perform better with that particular setting. So that's the setting I've set it at to 0. MACD settings we don't need to worry about because we're not using it, and the rest again you can just leave just leave as standard. So that's where we've got the settings. Again, pause the video, have a look at that, and then what we also need to do is go into the indicator settings and change the RSI MTF indicator to match the EA, so you can visually see where the trades are going. And as you can see, it's put a lot more signals on here, so it gives you more trades. But again, we are looking at an hourly chart as well, so that's just again one of the things to kind of bear in mind. So those are the brand new settings that I'll be trading going on for next week. And what I'm decided to do is trade this using my £500 account that I'm looking to grow. Again, I've got a series on that, which I'll link to in the top right corner, which I've been using the zone recovery EA and some other kind of experimentation methods or trading strategies. But I feel like I'm having less and less time to kind of trade discretionary, especially doing my main account and creating videos and also trying to maintain this £500 journal account. I've decided to move this into a fully automated strategy using these brand new settings on the Euro USD, so one currency pair on the 1 hour chart. I know that a lot of you like to run this system on multiple currency pairs. And again, you will find soon enough that it does really well. It gives you some really nice wins, some really nice profit. But when the market or multiple markets start trending, it can get you into trouble and start eating your margin. So my advice to you guys, if you are trading this system, whether it's on a short term or on a long term time frame, is to only trade it on one, maximum 2 currency pairs. And if you are trading on a second currency pair, you really want to trade it on a pair that is not correlated to with each other. So that would be my really strong advice to you guys if you are trading this strategy. So what I quickly wanted to do now is just show you a back test on the Euro USD. The reason why I've chosen the Euro USD is mainly it's the most popular pair that is traded, and also more importantly, it has the lowest spreads out of all pairs across all brokers. Most brokers now are doing an average between 0.8 to 1.5, so therefore the spreads are really tight, which is what you want, especially if you're going to copy my settings and have a 5 pip take profit target. So in this particular back test, again, I didn't want to cherry pick any particular month. I just picked the whole of 2020 from the start, from 1st of January till yesterday, because I'm making this video on the 12th, on the 11th of September on a 1 hour chart. And again, I wanted to make sure that the spread on average was above what I generally trade. Again, trying to, break the system effectively across there. And again, I've done it with 2 pips or 20 points. So what you'll notice, the inputs are exactly the same as what I just went through. And what I've done is I've just done it on $100, £100, doesn't matter, but a very small initial deposit. And what I'll do first is then show you the report, and then I'll show you the graph. So again, it's just the broker data, so it's at 90%. And what you'll see is in the 9 months, it has made £65 and 54 pence profit. So therefore, a 65% return, which is, unbelievable, with a profit factor of 3.26. And a maximal drawdown. When we look at drawdown and back test, we don't want to look at the absolute. The absolute just looks at the drawdown based on your initial deposit. whereas the maximal drawdown just looks at the max amount of drawdown you would have been regardless of what your account balance is. So, you know, £24.75, which is, you know, basically 22% of the account at the worst case scenario you would have been in drawdown with the system. So again, when you come in looking at risk factors, again, if you're playing with, you know, 10k or something like that, you would be, you know, pretty much £2,200 or dollars in drawdown. Can you stomach that type of drawdown at any particular point in time? So again, this system, as you all know, is a very risky system. There is no stop loss inside this system, and it can get you into trouble. So again, I strongly advise, if you are going to use this system, firstly test it on demo account so you guys can see the different types of scenarios that kind of happen with this system. And then secondly, if you are going to push this to live, trade it with a very small account, and trade it with money you guys can afford to lose, and doesn't, you know, you're not banking your like life savings on this stuff. So that's definitely one thing to kind of put into mind. So again, it's very good in terms of what it looks like over the 9 months. And again, you've got the pandemic and other different factors inside here that are influencing this kind of particular strategy. And then, but what I wanted to do is just kind of show you the graph, and obviously the graph's done a number of trades inside this 9-month period. So what I wanted to kind of show you is kind of these areas here where you got these little peaks. This is where the EA is opening multiple trades. You've got trades open for more than a day, etc., etc. But what you can see long periods of where it's pretty much straight, which means that, you know, you enter, it stays in for 2-3 hours, and then we'll get you out of the trade quite comfortably. And the way I suggest you kind of approach this strategy is, if you think about it, is like, if you look at the biggest investors inside the world, like Warren Buffett, Benjamin Graham, and all these things, and you Google on what's their average annual returns over X number of years, at the top level, you know, with the Warren Buffetts of the world, you're looking at like 20 to 25%. If we look at the stock market index, whether you look at the FTSE or the Nasdaq or the S&P 500, you're looking at traditionally on average 8% year over year. So again, this on paper looks really good at 65%, but again, you are potentially risking your whole amount of money. Whereas if you did invest with Warren Buffett or the S&P 500, it's very unlikely you're going to lose all your money. So this is, again, it's risk to reward in terms of how much you want to risk inside using this particular strategy. But again, it's, you know, it's for you guys to kind of play with and to do what you want to do. Really interested in what you guys come up with. What I've done, like I said, I'll be trading this come tomorrow, 13th of September, on the £500 journal account. So what I'll do is I'll let that go for a week. I won't touch it. I won't even get involved from a discretionary perspective. It may not even place any trades, because as you see on the results tab, yeah, generally you do get not every day, but, you know, every 1 to 3 days you are kind of getting a kind of trade. So if we go down to September, we had a trade on the 3rd, and the last trade was on the 10th, which was the Thursday. So again, there are times where there is not going to be a trade for a while, but again, it's opening a number of trades, as you can see. And again, sometimes we'll open 3 trades. In this particular example, it opened 3 trades pretty much on the same day, and then got out, you know, an hour and 6 minutes later, once the 3rd trade was open. So again, you are in trades for a while, but again, this is a hands-off approach, and again, you just let the EA do what it needs to do. So like I said, it does open multiple trades, but hopefully, like I said, on this particular one, opened 3 trades, but got you out within less than a day. So again, please practice this on demo, set it all up, make sure it's running how you expected it to run. Go back and pause the video if you want to check out the settings. And then what I'll do now is in the end screens, I'll also put, again, I'll put how to use this EA in more detail so you can understand it. I strongly recommend you understand how this EA works and how the indicators work before diving in. So check that one out, and I shall see you guys in a second.